everyone. I'm Mary Aldhouse, and I'm going to be your guide for this series of 26 lessons in basic Japanese, which has been prepared especially for those who know nothing at all about the Japanese language. In each lesson, we'll take a look at a short skit about a man named Yang who arrives from abroad to live in the Japanese capital of Tokyo. Then we'll study some of the Japanese that was used in the skit. These skits about Yang and the Japanese portray the everyday lives of perfectly ordinary Japanese people, so we'll be able to learn a lot about modern Japanese society and culture while we enjoy learning the basics of the Japanese language.
はじめまして、どうぞよろしく。
はじめまして、ヤンです。
私、みどりです。どうぞよろしく。
みどりさん、よろしくお願いします。
All the Japanese used is spoken at natural speed, so for those of you who are listening to Japanese for the first time, what you hear may not sound like words at all. But the skit has been prepared so that you can understand the story even without understanding the language. So don't worry about what is being said. Just enjoy the skit and get used to the sound and rhythm of Japanese. The first skit begins with the arrival of the main character, Yang, at Tokyo International Airport. Are you ready?
Yanです。どうぞよろしく。よろしく。
さあ、行きましょう。太郎、車。はい。よろしくお願いします。いいですね。
ちょっと。これはあなたのですか？
あ、はい、私のです。どうもありがとうございます。
いいえ。じゃ。
どうもすみません。
こちらこそどうも。どうもすみません。おい、太郎。はい。これはヤンさんの荷物ですか？
ええ、これ私のです。
ヤンさん、これは？
あ、それも私のです。
あら？これは私のではありません。
じゃあ、これは誰のですか？
あ、これは私のです。これはあなたのですか？
はい、私のです。どうもありがとうございます。
いやいや、どういたしました。
あれ？これは私のではありません。
あ、それは私のです。
どうもすみません。どうもすみません。この車は太郎さんのですか？
いえ、私のです。
日本の車ですか？
ええ、そうです。
ヤンさん。加藤さん、あれは何ですか？
え？ どれですか？
あれですよ、あれ。あのビル。
ああ、あれは団地です。
団地。
ええ、全部住宅です。
へえ。
ヤンさん、家内です。
はじめまして、どうぞよろしく。
はじめまして、ヤンです。
私、みどりです。どうぞよろしく。
みどりさん、よろしくお願いします。
どうもありがとうございます。
よかったね。さあ、ヤンさん、どうぞ。
お待たせしました。はい、みどり。
涼しいですね。
久しぶりでしょ。
もう13年ぶりですよ。
それじゃあ、ヤンさんの来日を祝して乾杯しましょう。乾杯。
Well, that was the first skit. Did you understand what happened? First of all, Yang arrived at the airport and was met by Mr. Kato and his son Taro. Then there was a little trouble with tumbling baggage. Next, Yang saw some of the sights of Tokyo from the car. And finally, they arrived safely at the Kato's house. A complete transcription of the skits, together with vocabulary words, grammatical explanations, and exercises, is given in the text which accompanies this program. So we hope you'll get a copy of the text and make use of it. Well, next, let's go right ahead and look at a few of the important sentence patterns that were used in the skit. Our first pattern for today is watashi wa desu. This is a very common sentence pattern and also a very useful one because you can use it to tell people something about yourself. Watashi wa desu. This sentence provides your listeners with some information about you. So if you put your name in the blank, you can use this pattern to tell other people who you are, like this. Watashi wa arutasu desu. Watashi wa arutasu desu. As you might expect then, this pattern is very often used when people introduce themselves. And with the expression dozo yoroshiku added after it, it is the single most common method of greeting people one meets for the first time. Dozo yoroshiku is very difficult to translate exactly into English, but it means something like, please favor me with your friendship. Now, let's have the other people who appear on this program introduce themselves.
私は海宝です。どうぞよろしく。
This is Kaiho-san. Would you say that once more, please?
私は海宝です。どうぞよろしく。
Thank you. That was Kaiho-san. Kaiho is a very unusual name. And now the next person. Would you introduce yourself, please?
私はミネです。どうぞよろしく。
This is Mine-san. Could you let us hear that once more, please?
私はミネです。どうぞよろしく。
Thank you. That was Mine-san. Be sure to pronounce his name Mine, not mine. Next.
杉原です。どうぞよろしく。
This is Sugihara-san. Did you notice that she didn't say watashi wa? Sugihara-san, could you let us hear that once more, please?
杉原です。どうぞよろしく。
Thank you. We see then that watashi wa can sometimes be left out. That is because watashi wa means if I speak about myself, and it is used when the speaker takes himself as the subject of the sentence. But it is often clear to the listener just from the situation that the speaker is speaking about himself, and at such times, watashi wa can be omitted. Let's have them introduce themselves once more.
私は海宝です。どうぞよろしく。
峰です。どうぞよろしく。
杉原です。どうぞよろしく。
私は岩崎です。どうぞよろしく。堀です。どうぞよろしく。
You've just met Iwasaki-san, one of our cameramen, and Hori-san, our director. Now, let's have those of you out there watching this program introduce yourselves. Just put your own family name into the blank. First, please do it using watashi wa. Go ahead.
私は峰です。どうぞよろしく。私は峰です。どうぞよろしく。
This time, try introducing yourself without using watashi wa.
峰です。どうぞよろしく。峰です。どうぞよろしく。
How did you do? Wasn't that easy? Now, let's go back to the skit for a moment and see how this sentence was used there.
あ、ヤンさん、ヤンさん、あ、加藤さん。いらっしゃい。
加藤さんしばらく。
いやいや、藤山さん。ヤンさん、太郎です。
ヤンです。どうぞよろしく。ヤンです。どうぞよろしく。
ヤンさん、どうぞ。
はい、失礼します。
どうぞ。
ヤンさん、家内です。
はじめまして。どうぞよろしく。
はじめまして、ヤンです。
私緑です。どうぞよろしく。
みどりさん、よろしくお願いします。
どうもありがとう。
Did you understand that? After this, I don't think you'll have any trouble with watashi wa desu. So let's move on to our next sentence. Mine-san, would you read that for us?
これはヤンさんの荷物です。これはヤンさんの荷物です。
It seems a little long, but if we look at its basic structure, this is what we get. Now that parts of it are in boxes, don't you think it looks similar to our first pattern, watashi wa desu? If you thought so, you were right. All we have done is put in kore instead of watashi. Kore means this thing or this and refers to some object which the speaker is holding or which is near the speaker. Obviously, then, this sentence pattern is used to indicate what sort of thing this or kore is. Let's have Sugihara-san use this sentence pattern for us.
これはテキストです。これはテキストです。
She said, "This is a textbook." Take your own text in your hand and repeat after her.
これはテキストです。これはテキストです。
Were you able to say that all right? これはです. If you can use this sentence, you'll be able to tell people what all sorts of objects are.
"これは鉛筆です」「これは鉛筆です」
これはボールペンです。これはボールペンです。
In Japanese, this is called a ボールペン。これはボールペンです。In Japanese, this is called a pen. これはペンです。これはペンです。Now, you pick up something to write with and using the expression これはです, tell us what it is. Go ahead. You didn't have any trouble with that, did you? Now that you've gotten used to this expression, let's go back to that longer sentence once more.
これはヤンさんの荷物です。これはヤンさんの荷物です。
これはです. The structure of this part shouldn't be any problem for you now, so let's turn our attention to the words in the box and look at just that part. Sang means Mr. or Mrs. or Miss, and it is used after people's names, but you must never use it after your own name. Sang is a kind of honorific, and it is never used about oneself. Incidentally, you won't hear the other people who appear on this program address me as Sang. Instead, they'll use sensei. This is because I'm a teacher, and it would be rude to address a teacher as Sang. Now, getting back to the words on the screen, nimotsu means baggage. When he arrived in Japan, Jan had a lot of baggage with him, didn't he? This is Jan-san no nimotsu. In other words, Jan-san no means Jan's, and Jan-san no nimotsu means Jan's baggage.
これは鉛筆です。海宝さんの鉛筆です。これはボールペンです。杉原さんのボールペンです。これはテキストです。これはアルタウス先生のテキストです。
That's right. This is my text.
これは荷物です。これは荷物です。
これはヤンさんの荷物です。
Have you got that now? これはヤンさんの荷物です. It means this is Jan's baggage. Now, let's find out how to turn this sentence into a question. Watch carefully and see what part is different. Well, that's all there is to it. In Japanese, all you have to do to change a sentence into a question is add ka at the end. You wonder about pronunciation? Okay, let's have Kaiho-san say it for us.
これはヤンさんの荷物ですか？これはヤンさんの荷物ですか？これはヤンさんの荷物ですか？
Now, how should we answer this question? Today, let's just find out how to answer yes.
はい、それはヤンさんのです。はい、それはヤンさんのです。
This is how to answer the question. Let's look at the question and the answer together. The word hai, which appears at the beginning of the answer, means that's right. But the main thing we need to pay attention to here is that where the question contains これは, the answer has それは. In Japanese, it's very important to use これは and それは properly. For now, let's just remember that something which is near the speaker is これ, and something which is near the person he's talking to is それ. Some of you are probably wondering what to do about something which isn't near either, but we'll get to that in lesson 2. So for now, let's just concentrate on これ and それ.
海保さん、これはヤンさんの荷物ですか？
はい、それはヤンさんのです。
杉原さん、これはヤンさんの荷物ですか？
はい、それはヤンさんの荷物です。
Now, let's have them change their positions and do that once more.
海保さん、それはヤンさんの荷物ですか？
はい、これはヤンさんのです。
杉原さん、それはヤンさんの荷物ですか？
はい、これはヤンさんのです。
Have you gotten the general idea about the difference between これ and それ now? There's one more point I'd like you to pay attention to here. In the question, これはヤンさんの荷物ですか? The word 荷物 appears, but this word isn't in the answer, is it? It's possible to answer, はい、それはヤンさんの荷物です. But since both the person who asks and the one who answers know that they're talking about luggage, this word need not be repeated, and so just はい、それはヤンさんのです is quite all right. Incidentally, in Japanese, the word for I is, that's right, the word for I is watashi, and the word for you is anata. So we can say 私のです it's mine, and あなたのです it's yours. These are two good sentences to remember. In the skit, they were used like this.
すみません。こちらこそどうも。
どうもすみません。おい太郎。はい太郎。これはヤンさんの荷物ですか？
ええ、これ私のです。
これはヤンさんの荷物ですか？
ええ、これ私のです。
これはヤンさんの荷物ですか？
ええ、これ私のです。
これはあなたのですか？
はい、私のです。
これはあなたのですか？
はい、私のです。
これはあなたのですか？
はい、私のです。
Do you see how those sentences are used now? In the skit, they were speaking at natural speed, but I don't think you had any trouble with 私のです or あなたのです, did you? Now, let's look at another little skit about baggage, 荷物.
これはあなたの荷物ですか？
はい、私のです。さあどうぞ。
ありがとうございます。失礼します。これはあなた。
これは私じゃありません。
だってこれ今あったじゃん。
これは私のですけど、これは私じゃありません。
それは私のです。どうもすみません。
Sugihara-san ended by saying どうもすみません. どうもすみません is used in various ways, but here she used it to apologize, so for now let's remember it that way. It's also possible to say just すみません to apologize, but どうもすみません is politer.
これはカメラです。これはカメラです。
In Japanese, the word for camera is kamera. Now, using kamera, let's see how you do on a quiz about これ and それ.
これは加藤さんのカメラですか？
はい、加藤さんのカメラです。
Now, this is the question. When he answered, Do you suppose Kaiho-san said これは or それは? Which is the correct answer?
これは加藤さんのカメラですか？
はい、これは加藤さんのカメラです。はい、これは加藤さんのカメラです。
Kaiho-san took the camera in his hand and was holding it when he answered, so これは is correct. Something the speaker has is これ. Something the person he's talking to has is それ. Please get this firmly in your mind. And now, let's watch as much of the original skit as we can before time runs out. I'm sure you'll find it much easier to pick out words and sounds this time. Listen carefully.
あ、ヤンさん、ヤンさん、あ、加藤さん。いやー、いらっしゃい。加藤さん、しばらく。いやいや、藤山さん。ヤンさん、太郎です。
はじめまして。太郎です。
太郎さんですか。はい。ヤンです。どうぞよろしく。
よろしく。
さあ、行きましょう。太郎、車。はい。私、これも行きます。いいですね。
ちょっと。これはあなたのですか？
あ、はい。私のです。どうもありがとうございます。
いいえ。じゃあ。
どうもすみません。こちらこそどうも。どうもすみません。これはヤンさんの荷物ですか？ええ、これは私のです。ヤンさん、これは、あ、それは私のです。
あら？これは私のではありません。
じゃあこれは誰のですか？あ、これは私のです。これはあなたのですか？はい、私のです。どうもありがとうございます。いやいや、本当に。あれ？これは私のではありません。
あ、それは私のです。
どうもすみません。どうもすみません。ヤンさん、どうぞ。はい、失礼します。
どうぞ。
ヤンさん、家内です。
はじめまして。どうぞよろしく。
はじめまして、ヤンです。
私みどりです。どうぞよろしく。
みどりさん、よろしくお願いします。
どうもありがとうございます。
よかったね。さあ、ヤンさん、どうぞ。それじゃあ、ヤンさんの来日を祝して乾杯しましょう。乾杯。